is expected to debilitate this year. So we will see a smaller growth than normal. So good morning everyone. The word debilitate means weaken in strength. And welcome to today's session. My name is Vaishnavi, as you know, and today we are going to discuss SBI PO main refreshers. Let's start with the questions because today we have a lot of questions to discuss. And we will be also discussing a new type of question today. So let's start with the first type of question, that is error spotting. We always start with error spotting, and I think by now you should be able to answer all the questions on error spotting. So this is slightly different. Why? Because there's combination of words of alphabets that are error free. Okay, so I think we have solved this type of question. So just take a look at the question. I'll just read the direction once. In each of the following question there are sentences that form a paragraph. There is error in one of the parts. Mark the option which contains parts A, B, C, D, E which do not contain error. So the error free sentence you have to leave out, and the error-free sentences you have to mark them as your answer, the combination of options. If no part contains error, mark E as your answer. Alright, so let's see the question. To avoid arbitrariness of authorities, the law had provided for a survey of all existing street vendors and subsequent survey at least once in every 5 years, and issue of certificate of vending to all the street vendors. So where is the error and which one is the error free part? Which ones are the error free part? If there's an error, if you think there's an error in any of the options, why do you think there is an error, and what should be improved? What should be changed? So let's start with what does the word arbitrariness means. Okay, so we will first discuss what does the word mean, and then we will move further. So let's discuss what does the word arbitrary mean. So arbitrary means it's just based on personal whim. Okay, so if something is done randomly, it's just random. Okay, and what is arbitrariness then? It becomes a noun now. So the quality of being random. Alright, so to avoid that, the law had provided for a survey of all. The law had provided, it will not be for a survey of all existing street vendors and a subsequent survey at least once in every 5 years, and issue of certificates of vending to all the street vendors. So I've read the statement. Where is the error? So to avoid arbitrariness of authorities, that is fine. So A is absolutely fine. Then the law had provided a survey of all. I think that is a typo error because all the options has B in it. So definitely B will not be the error, the one with the error. Okay, so might have just accidentally added it or something like that. Provided for a survey. It should be the law had provided a survey of all existing. After that, if you see existing street vendors and a subsequent, that is also fine, survey at least once in every 5 years. It should not be so they have provided a survey at least once in every 5 years. They have provided a survey for once for every 5 years. Why will it be for every 5 years? Because we are talking about inclusion. Which duration are we talking about? For every 5 years there will be one survey. Okay, for every 5 years there will be one survey. So the error is in part D. So which one will be the error free statement? Third one. Alright, moving on to the next question. The government recognized street vending as not only a source of self-employment for the poor in the cities and towns, but also as a means to provide affordable as well as convenient service for a majority of the urban population. Where is the error and what is the error? Okay, the government recognized street vending as not only a source of self-employment, so they have recognized street vending is what we are talking about. So the government has recognized it as not only the source of self-employment for the poor in the cities and towns, but also as means to provide affordable as well as convenient services. Okay, for a majority of urban for a majority of the urban population. Now, if you look at statement E, what do we have in statement E? We have a plural form of services. But why are we using services if we are only talking about one service that is mentioned over here, that is street vending? Okay, so it should not be services, it should be service. So this one was a little tricky one, because once you read it, sounds absolutely fine, you do not see the problem, but the problem is with the subject and the verb. So the subject is singular, but the verb that we are using for it is plural. So the error is in part E. So the error-free combination will be A, B, C, D, and that is 1. Alright, okay. So this one was pretty easy, just you have to be careful with the question, because small errors like S and ES, we tend to overlook these errors, okay, but they form a major part of error spotting. Alright, moving on to the next question then. Just see the next question and then we'll try solving it. The law provides for the constitution of a town vending committee in each local authority to ensure implementation of provisions of the Act. The committee makes decision on various aspects including determination of natural market. Where is the error and what is the error? Yes, you're right. The answer is 5, because everything that is mentioned in the statement is absolutely grammatically as well as contextually correct. The first statement, if you see, the law provides for the constitution of a town is fine, vending committee in each local authority to ensure what? To ensure implementation of the provision of the Act. After full stop, so the committee makes decision on various aspects including determination of natural market. Okay, so the committee are the ones, the committee is the one that makes decision on natural market as well. Alright, so everything is absolutely fine, no error at all. So moving on to the next question then. Let's solve it a little quicker. 40% of the committee members are from street vendors to be selected through election, of which 1/3 shall be women. Where is the error and what is the error? 40% of the committee members are from where? So we are talking about they are from a certain place. Okay, so they belong to a certain place, and which place is that? We are not talking about a place here, we are talking about a group. Okay, so when we are talking about a group, we are talking about something, they are among this group. Okay, so among is the word that is missing. So it should be from among street vendors to be selected through election, of which 1/3 shall be women. So the error is in part C. Alright, C has the error, so the error-free combination will be the 4th one. You're saying E is the error. How will E be the error? Elaborate a little. Moving on to the next question. While India aspires to jointmanship in the 3 services, statements over the last few weeks point disturbingly to renewed inter-service rivalry. While India aspires to jointmanship in the 3 services, statements over the last few weeks point disturbingly to renewed inter-service rivalry. Okay, it should not. Shall is fine. Why is shall fine? Because when you have to give orders, or when you are when you are declaring something, you use shall. Okay, so shall is absolutely fine for second and third person when you are making a command, a threat, or a promise. Okay, so this is absolutely fine. Shall can be used instead of Should is also fine, but shall is not wrong. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So shall is absolutely fine. Let's concentrate on this question now. I told you what the error is. Let's concentrate on this question. But good thinking. Okay, so I think we have discussed modal auxiliary verbs many times, and if you're having doubts, or if you think you are not very clear with that, then you should probably go back and watch those videos on modal auxiliary verbs. Okay, so yeah, where is the error in this question? While India aspires to joint manship in the three services, disturbingly to renewed inter-service rivalry. What is the error over here? Instead of in the, again we are talking about inclusion here, aren't we? So instead of in, it should be among the three services. Okay, so the error is in B. The error-free combination will again be 4. Oh no, sorry, not 4, 3. Okay, three services. Among the three services, statements over the last few weeks, they point disturbingly to. Okay, so that is absolutely fine. They point. Who do they point to? First we are talking about how do they point. Okay, they point disturbingly. Okay, so disturbingly is used as an obviously adverb over here, so it is absolutely fine to use it as an adverb over here. So how are they pointing? They're pointing disturbingly to. What are they pointing it to? They're pointing it to renewed what? That means again it has initiated inter-service rivalry. So this has initiated in, and that's why it is disappointing. Okay, so we are talking about the rivalry becoming new again. Okay, so that's why we are using the word renewed rivalry. Okay, so it was not before, but it has appeared once again. Okay, so even though the entire statement is in simple present, even though the entire statement, yes, it is in simple present, the later half of the statement, disturbingly to, what are they pointing to? Renewed. That means it has already become renewed. Okay, it has already become a fresh start to inter-service rivalry. Okay, so that's why it will be, instead of the preposition in, you will use the preposition among. Okay, this is what the state is inspiring. The state is inspiring in a joint manship. Okay, among the three services. Okay, the three services. So that's why it should be among and not in, because we are talking about inclusion, not inside something. Okay, so that's why it will be option B has the error, not the last one. Moving on to the next question. Now this is a different type of question. Here it's very simple. You just have to fill in the blanks, but for the first two blanks you have to, I will be reading the instruction once again, but just hear me out what you are supposed to do. For the first two blanks you have to fill in with there are a pair of words given in the option. Okay, so you have to choose, for the first two blanks you have to choose the first words, and for the last blank you have to choose the next word. Okay, among the pair of words. Okay, from the pair of words. Alright, so let's see. Each of the following questions, 3 statements are given with a missing word in each. You have to fill the blanks of the first 2 statements with the first word of the option, and the blank of the third statement with the second word of the option provided. Alright, so this is what you have to do. So for the first 2 you have to fill in with any of these options. Okay, and the last one, the third one, you have to fill in with any of these options. Alright, so let's see. A Danish proverb tells us that it is better to be a free bird than a dash king. So it is better to be a free bird. So this is an adjective. We are looking for an adjective over here. Than to be a dash king. Okay, so which adjective are we looking for? Free, and we are definitely looking for something opposite. Okay, excuse me, because it is comparing to a bird and a king. Okay, so free bird, it is better to be, it is comparing two things, it is better to be a free bird than a dash king. So a caged king, yes, it can be caged king. Temporary king, no, we are looking for something opposite of free. Captive can be one. So 1 and 3 can be the option. 2 is not definitely. Directed king, no. So we are looking for something in 1 and 2. Let's look at the second statement, it will become clearer. The steel company opened a dash power plant to fulfill its power needs. What power plant are we talking about? Should it be caged power plant? No, we are not looking for caged power plant, are we? Okay. Let's look at the word captive. Okay. Captive has two meanings. Okay. Generally it will be like this. Both the statements will have the same word, but somehow they will be homonyms. Okay. Or having the same meaning, used in two different ways. Okay. Not having the same meaning, having different meanings, same word having two different meanings. Okay. So one, a captive is a person who's taken a prisoner, right? So someone who's captivated is someone who is captured, okay, by another party, okay. And the other meaning of captive, controlled by, or for the sole use of, okay, for one single purpose, for sole use of something, okay. So the steel company opened a captive power plant to fulfill its power needs. So the sole purpose of this power plant will be to fulfill its power needs, right? So captive again is absolutely fine, okay. So captive will be the right word for the next one as well. Now let's look at the third one. The Prime Minister claimed the scandal was a minor affair and certainly didn't dash an investigative commission. Okay, so he's saying that it was a minor thing and it certainly didn't qualify. We are looking for a word which talks about qualify. Okay, so caged is attract, is not merit. Yes, so it does not qualify, as in it does not merit an investigative commission. Okay, so it does not deserve an investigative commission. It is that puny or that trivial of a matter. Okay, so that's why it does not need an investigative commission. All right, I think that solves this question. Now this one, try it on your own. All right. So one question I've solved of this type. Let's see the second one of the same type. Okay. The little boy forgot to deliver a newspaper to one of the houses on his way. Definitely we are looking for something which is similar to way. Okay, so he had to come back after supper. Okay, supper is nothing but dinner. So let's look at the options. You just have to look at, you just have to concentrate for the first two on the first half of the options. Okay, the first of the pair. So way is one, route is one, lay, trail. Okay, it cannot be lay. Trail is something that you leave behind. Okay, so on his trail. All right, let's just keep trail as well for now. Okay, let's look at the second one. The gas company was able to dash the pipeline under our flower garden without having to dig up our yard at all. Okay, so was able to what the pipeline. So we are looking for a word which goes with direct the pipeline. Okay, direct the pipeline under our flower garden without having to dig up our yard at all. Okay, so now if you look at this, we are looking for direct. Okay, so there's only one word which goes for way as well as direction, that is route. Okay, so route is used for route can be used in two ways. One is a way or a course that a person takes, okay, so from the starting point to the destination. Okay, so that is a route. Okay, so way. And the second route is send or direct. So that's why we have a router, we have rerouting, words like rerouting, that means directing it again. And you see that in your when you open the cab applications, you will see words like rerouting and route and things like that. Americans call it route as well, so route is also fine, but route is better, yes. So, and debilitate is the word of the day. I told you what the word debilitate means. Debilitate means making something weaker, okay, weakening something, all right. So let's look at the last one, if it falls true for the last one. A quick punch to the throat will dash most attackers. Yes, it is talking about a quick punch to the throat is very deadly and it weakens the opponent, right? The most attackers, okay? So debilitate should be the word, debilitate. So 2 is fine. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Alright, look at the similar question again. Easy one though. For a fee, most celebrities will dash a product by pretending to like it. So we are looking for words like endorse. They will endorse a product if they are getting a little money, or they will promote a product if they are getting a little money, or they will praise a product or appreciate a product if they are getting a certain amount of money. Demeanor is nothing but manner of something, manner of doing something, okay? So that means manner, and manner has nothing to do with this, okay? Yes, they usually glorify a product, or recognize is again not recognize. They will of course they recognize all the products, but they do not, like I said, we are looking for a word which says appreciate, okay? So it should be appreciate or praise, and that is either glorify or exalt, okay? Let's look at the third one. The dash of Sherlock Holmes is one of the most recognizable figure in English literature. The dash of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, if you do not know, is a character, right? So it's the dash of Sherlock Holmes. So something of Sherlock Holmes, the character of Sherlock Holmes is one of the most recognizable figure in English literature, and yes, it is one of the most recognized figure in English literature, very recognized. So it will be answer number 3. All right, now let's quickly look at 2 more of the same type, okay? Let's see this one. The promoters dash the right to cancel the outdoor concert in the event of rain. The promoters dash the right to, okay? So they dash the right to, so they hold the right to, or they have the right to, or we are looking for something like that, right? Australia is the site of the world's largest underground water dash. Okay, so there is a word, I think you must be familiar with the word, it is reserve. Okay, reserve is used to talk about having or holding the rights, definitely. So that is one, and reserve also means a storage unit, storage of water, probably storage of generally water, okay? So reserve is nothing but a storage as well, so it will be reserve. Let's just, for your convenience, look at the third one as well. The boss dash him to send the report out as soon as it was completed. The boss instructed him. All right, so yes, 1 is the right answer. Moving on to the next one. The local newspaper now runs a regular dash on environmental issue. The local newspaper runs a regular dash on environmental, probably report we are talking about, or an article, or a feature. It can be anything, but it cannot be location. It can be column, it can be article, it can be feature, but it cannot be location. So let's look at the second one. The swimming pool is an attractive dash of the apartment complex. The swimming pool is an attractive what? Feature. Okay, so feature here, it means 2 things. All right, it means a newspaper, or it can be a magazine, it can be a newspaper, an article in a newspaper or a magazine is a feature. Also, the other use of the word feature is when we talk about is an important or a distinctive attribute, okay? Attribute, okay? And one is article, all right? And it says after that, studies show that listening to music, especially rock music, is the preferred dash activity of North Indian adolescents. Wow, okay, that's a good study. Yes, that was my way of my preferred activity as well. What activity? Leisure activity, okay? So something that you do in your free time is a leisure activity. A leisure is your time that you can while or spend just doing things that you like doing is your leisure time, okay? So 2 is the right answer, yes. So this type is done. This section is done. I think this is the first time we are solving questions on this type, and it was pretty simple. You just have to be careful with the instruction. What is it exactly is it asking you to do? It's not that it's a new type or it's a new way of or new format of. It is a new format, but the questions are not very twisted. You just have to, the first 2 blanks, it's same as the other fill in the blanks. It is nothing different or special. The only thing is, for the first 2 blanks, you have to fill in with the first option amongst the pair of words, and the second blank has to be, the third blank has to be filled with the second option. All right, the second word of the option. So yeah, that is what is different in this type. I think it was pretty simple. Yeah, but if you did not, then the only thing that can be stopping you from solving these questions are a little bit of practice, okay? So if you keep practicing, it's very simple. Generally, you get words which has 2 meanings or so you should know a word with. That's why whenever I talk about meanings of a word, I give you both the meanings of a word if it has 2 meanings, 2 separate meanings. Alright, so now we will be moving on to the next type of questions. So let's solve this one. I'll give you the direction. You just have to solve it after that, okay? And then I'll help you out. Alright, a phrase is given followed by 4 sentences in 1, 2, 3 and 4. Determine in which of the given sentence or sentences is the usage of given phrase correct or appropriate. Choose answer accordingly. Okay, so in which of the options the phrase that is given over here is used appropriately? That's what you have to answer in this one. So let's see, bundle up. Bundle up is nothing but stack up, right? Stack up something. So she bundled the kittens up in blankets before taking them to the vet. Okay, so she's stacked up the kittens in a blanket. That is fine. There is no problem in stacking up kittens in a blanket. Her mother had bundled all her 40s clothes up and burnt them. Okay, yes, again she stacked up all her 40s clothes and she burnt them. After the coffee, we bundled up and walked down to the river. Okay, and the last one, I didn't want to be bundled up in cotton wool. So which one is not used appropriately? What do you think? So if I say after the coffee we bundled up and we stacked up, we grouped up together. Basically bundle up is grouping up, okay? So we grouped up together and walked down to the river. That is also fine. I didn't want to be bundled up in cotton wool. So that means I did not want myself to be stacked up in a cotton wool, bundled up as in caged in a cotton wool, okay? So she does not want to wear cotton wool. That's what it means, okay? So I think all of them are correct. So all are correct, okay? Bundle up, you can use it in any of the 4 ways. Alright, moving on to the next question. Answer back is the word. Let's see if it is used properly. Who dares to answer back when he roars like a lion? Who dares to answer back? Yeah, who dares to reply back or answer back? Okay, reply basically. The child would answer her back to all she said. Okay, next one. Answer back basically means to reply, or to reply in a very rude manner, alright? So the child would answer her back to all she said. When they scolded him, he would answer them back. Fine, okay. Handmaids aren't allowed to answer back anything. Which one is not used appropriately? Okay, who dares to answer back? Who dares? So we are again, this is fine. When he rose like a lion. So this is fine. The child would answer her back to all she said. So she would answer her back, or to all that she has said. She has kept it in her mind. She has taken a note on it, and she will answer it back. So 2 is also fine. When they scolded him, he would answer them back. So whenever he got scolded, he would always reply back in a very rude manner, or whatever, with his comebacks, if he has any. Handmaids aren't allowed to answer anything back. Okay, back anything. Okay, so they are not allowed to reply back to anything. They are not allowed to reply to anything that is asked. Yes, so all are correct again. All right. The next word is adhere to. Adhere to means adhere to. What is the meaning of adherent or adherence? Basically, someone who supports a specific adherent is the one who supports a specific group or a party. It can be anything. So a supporter, basically a follower or a supporter, is an adherent. Okay, so adhere to is to comply to, or basically obey to. Okay, to obey. If you keep refusing to adhere to the rules, again, if you keep refusing to obey the rules, basically that's what it means, of the school, you may be expelled. So that is fine. Staff should adhere strictly to the safety guidelines. Yes, they should. They should follow the rules very strictly of the safety guidelines. We must strictly adhere the terms to the contract. Okay, we must strictly follow the rules of the contracts, or the terms of the contracts. That's also fine. Is it? Is that fine? It says we must strictly adhere the terms to the contract. The terms to the contract is, again, it's not grammatically correct the way it is used. So 3 is definitely not the right answer. His followers adhering to a blend of Buddhist, Hindu and Christian teaching. Again, not grammatically right. It does make sense. I mean, you get the picture of what the person is trying to say, but it is not grammatically right. So only 2 and 1 follows. Alright. Next one is drop by. We used to just drop by her, but they were never home, so we stopped doing that. Drop by her. We used to just drop her by. Okay, so that again does not make sense. Drop by means just to pay a visit. Okay, pay a visit is drop by. We dropped by because we were sitting at home and not doing anything, so we thought we'll just drop by your place. Okay, so that's how it is used. Please drop by my home. That is fine. Drop by anytime you are in town. Yes, pay a visit to us whenever you're in town. Better drop by his gallery if you have time. So it is better that you go and pay his gallery a visit if you have time. So all except 1. 1 is not grammatically right, so all except 1 should be the right answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, shall we? One last question of this type, and then we are moving on to the next one. Okay, this one is pretty simple again. Woke up. You know what waking up means. I woke up when the rooster crowed. Okay, so this is absolutely fine. When the rooster started crowing, then I woke up at the sound of it. As you said, just waking you up from a nightmare. Okay, definitely not grammatically or contextually right. It does not make any sense. I always wake myself up at 7 even if I forget to set the alarm. I always wake up myself. Wake myself up automatically. I always wake myself up. Okay, now does this sound right to you? Basically, waking up means to become aware and more lively. That's what it means. What time do you guys wakes up? Again, not grammatically right, not grammatically right. So the only one that grammatically is right, even though the meaning of the word is very simple, and they've tried in 2, 3, 4 to abide by the meaning of the word, it still does not make any sense grammatically. So only one will follow. Okay, only one is correct. Moving on to the next question then. This is the next type of question we will be solving. Slightly different, but again not very tough, nothing new, nothing that we cannot solve, and definitely not rocket science. Okay, so let's just try solving these. In each of the following questions given below, a sentence is given with some bold words which may contain error. Below each of the sentences, a table is given with 2 columns, in which column A contains the list of bold words, and in column B the suggested corrections are listed. So column A is the words that you see in bold over here. The words that you see in bold are all in column A, and the corrected version, if there is any correction required, it is in column B. All right. You have to choose the best alternate among the 4 given options. If no correction is required against the given bold words, mark E, none of the above as your answer. Okay, so if there is any corrections required, you are supposed to make the correction and then mark that as your answer, that you're changing it from 2 to probably 4 or something like that, or 2 to 5. But the correction you can only make corrections with the words that are adjacent to each other in those 2 separate columns. Okay, you cannot go all haywire. Okay, you cannot go compete, you cannot make it outdated. So 4 cannot go with 5. All right, let's see the statement. It is important to measure the outstanding risk of a company and find the best possible solution to hedge and manage it. Had locked in a major portion of the cost can give paint manufacturers a significant margin boost to achieve compete pricing and hence healthy functioning. So where is the error? Had is definitely not used in the right place. 3 should change to 7. All right, so 3 and 7 is required. So 1 and 2 is not the right answer. So now we have to look at any other corrections required. Now, outstanding risk. What is outstanding? Outstanding means something that stands out. Okay, something that is brilliantly done, so brilliantly done that it stands out. It is important to measure the outstanding risk. Okay, something that is. So will outstanding be the right word? Yes. Outdated risk, if it is outdated, why are we talking about it? So 1 is absolutely fine, there is no correction required over there. Risk of a company and find the best possible solution to hedge and manage it. Okay, to hedge and manage it, yes, to trim and manage it. Okay, having locked in a major portion of the cost can give paint manufacturers a significant margin boost to achieve competitive pricing. It should be competitive pricing. All right, so 4 has to be changed to 8. All right, so both this one will be the right answer 3. I hope this type is clear. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask. 3, yes, 3 is the right answer. Okay, so I am assuming that there is no error, and all right, moving on to the next question then. Another one of the same type. Preserving changing social structures, raising disposable incomes, industrial growth and infrastructure expansion, coupled with the easy availability of housing loans, are the drivers of decorative paints industry, which accounts for 75% of the estimated $8.2 billion Indian market. So the words are preserving, raising, coupled and estimated. Now it's not just word usage type of error that you will be seeing. Like we saw in the previous question, there was a grammatical error, had changed to having. Okay, so it's not just the word usage type of error, any grammatical error also you are supposed to change it into different form. Okay, let's look at the first one. Preserving, changing social structure. Now changing social structure, raising disposable income, industrial growth, infrastructure expansion, all this has nothing to do with preserving. So the word preserving is not related to this. All this is related to urbanization. All right, so 1 definitely has to change to 5. All right, coupled with the easy availability of housing loans are the drivers of decorative paint industry, which account for 75% of the. Okay, raising disposable income. Is it raising disposable? Are we supposed to raise it, or is it already rising? Okay, so it is rising disposable income. All right, so 2 will change to 6. Infrastructure growth. Infrastructure growth and industrial growth and infrastructure expansion coupled with, of course it should be coupled with. So what does it mean? The keyword coupled with means together with. Okay, it means together with. Okay, so that is fine. Coupled is fine. This is definitely an error. Estimated. Account for 75% of the estimated. So should it be estimation? No, it's fine. Only the first one and the second one has to be changed. So it will be 1 changes and 2 changes. So 1 changes to 5 and 2 changes to 6. Fourth, there was an error over here. Estimated was the word. So like I said, on the column A side, you have words that are already over here, and this side is the words that you need to improve. If any improvement required, you will look at these words. All right, next question. I think 1 and 4. Fourth one, like I said, was an error from, I don't know, someone's side. Okay, if you want to change coupled with to caused to caused, if you want to change coupled to caused, then the preposition next to it, which is not highlighted, should also change. Okay, you do not say caused with. You will never accompany the preposition with couple, with cause. So caused by or caused due to, you usually say something like that. And here the only word highlighted is coupled. So together with all these things, together with certain other things, it says urbanization, changing social structures, rising disposable income, industrial growth and infrastructure expansion, all this coupled with easy availability of housing loans are the, so all this and together you get 8.2 billion Indian market, dollars of Indian market. So that's a lot, okay, for the paint industry. Alright, moving on to the next question then. India has told messaging platform WhatsApp to get serious about hawking, the purveyors of fake news and variance rumors. In a meeting with one of its top hosts, the law minister stressed that over 20 lives had been lost in India due to this rumor mongering. Nice words. To get serious about hawking the purveyors, of fake news. So it should not be hawking, it should be tracking. Okay, because what we are talking about, India has told messaging platform WhatsApp to get serious about what? About hawking, about just keeping a watch on the purveyors of fake news? No, tracking them down. Okay, so tracking. Okay, to trace them down. Okay, so to track will be the correct usage. So 1 will change to 5. So 1 will change to 5. So you have 2. Variance, which should it change to? And variance rumors. What is the meaning of variance? Variance is just like spreading. Yes. Hawking, yeah. Now, variance, what is the meaning of variance? Variance means we're seeing variety, okay? So is it variety rumor or variance rumors that we are talking about? Different rumors? No, we are talking about vicious rumors. What type of rumors? We are talking about the quality of the rumor, and the quality is that it is vicious, okay? So 2 will definitely change to 6. Now, you have only one option with 2 corrections like this, okay? So you don't have to even look at the next correction. You just have to select answer number 4, just to make sure that you are at pace with the question. Okay, next one. The Indian telecom sector has witnessed a paranoid shift. A paranoid shift or a paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is a complete change, complete transformation, right? So paranoid means freaking out, is being paranoid, okay? Or having a lot of anxiety is paranoia. So paradigm shift is what we are talking about, right? So shift is always paradigm. So 1 definitely changes to 5. So we will strike out the other options. Crossing the billion user mark and rolling out new technologies along with the leading markets just 4 years ago, it faced multiple challenges. Falling revenue and increasing debt were wreaking triumph. Were wrecking triumph. Okay, were wrecking triumph. Triumph is a very positive word, right? So whenever you see it, the word triumph, it will never be wrecking triumph. It will be it's victory, right? So we are not talking about victory. We are talking about havoc. Okay, so wrecking, havoc. 4 has to be changed to 8. So 1 is the right answer. Okay. Last question of the day, last question of the type as well as for the day, last question for the day. Please look at the question and try solving on your own. These are pretty simple, okay? So let's look at the question. The government launched Tarang Sanchar portal to correct misled around electromagnetic emission from TARs. It allows people to check emission, EMF, consensus status of mobile towers, giving information about any site on request via email. The government has launched Tarang Sanchar portal to correct what? Misled around. Misled is mislead or misled. Okay, any of it, even if I read it misled. Misleading is conveying the wrong information, okay? So that is not around electromagnetic the emissions from TARs, okay? So this is a misconception that people are talking about, that the government has tried to launch probably a solution or a awareness, has launched an awareness portal, that is Tarang Sanchar, to correct this misconception, okay? So 1 will change to 5, all right? So 1 and 2 is definitely not the answer. Emissions from the TAR is all absolutely fine. It allows people to check emissions consensus status of mobile towers. So will it be consensus or will it be compliance? It should be not consensus, we are talking about compliance, alright? So it should be compliance instead of consensus. So 3 has to also be changed to 7. Alright, 4 is the right answer. Compliance. Yes, so we have looked at questions which were of different types, a slightly different type. First we looked at error spotting, again solved it in a different way. There are two ways we solve error spotting question. One is all the questions are numbered in the same statement, and the other is they are given in options, and then you're supposed to select the option which is error-free combination. That was the only difference in error spotting. Rest two types that we solved were a little different, something that we have not solved before. So next class probably we'll also again be taking up something that is new, okay, that we haven't solved at all. Debilitate was the word of the day. Here the word of the day, and it means weaken something, okay, weaken in strength, okay. So debilitate is a very important word. Please keep it in mind and try making sentences on it. I will see you guys next class then with doubt clarification session as well as solving questions like this. And the timing of the classes have changed. We will start from 9 and doubt clarification will be at 11 o'clock. Alright, see you guys next class with new set of questions that we have not discussed till now, and open the doors of all the doubts so that we can solve it. First things first, you have to be very attentive in all the classes. You have to listen properly, okay? Try listening to as much English as possible. Try surrounding yourself with English where you have no other option but to just get English thoughts and thoughts in English basically, and so that you start thinking in English. You see words, you hear words that are appropriate for a certain situation, and you start using those words, those phrases. Try seeing chunks of phrases that are used at once, okay? For example, if I am late to the class, I usually say I'm sorry about that, this will not happen again, or something like that, okay? So these are phrases that are always used together. You're not weak, and please stop saying that I'm weak and I'm not okay in English. Just try to improve your level from what you are, okay? So just take one step at a time. Do not just overwhelm yourself thinking that, oh my god, I'm so weak at English and I cannot do this is not my cup of tea. Please stop doing that. Take baby steps, okay? When you're learning a language, you have to take baby steps. So try surrounding yourself, even if it is uncomfortable, even if you do not understand a lot of English. Still force yourself to listen to as much as possible, okay? Because listening a language helps in remembering or knowing the language a lot. A lot of people learn Japanese just by watching anime. So yeah, listening helps a lot, okay? So try listening as much as possible, and I'm talking about listening, not hearing. So you have to concentrate really well, focus on the phrases that are used together always for a certain kind of situation, and try using it when you are speaking or conversing in English. Alright, that's the suggestion of the day. If you are done with this step, then we'll go to the next step, okay? So try listening to a lot of news, because news is something that for current affairs also it'll help. Try watching a lot of English movies. Try listening to a lot of audios, as in podcasts in English, where people are having a normal conversation, so that you can know what are the things they say when they are having a conversation. How do they react and things like that. So everything, just observe, okay, or just listen, pay attention to things that are said in English around you. I'm still here, am I not? So if I'm still here, there is no need to connect anywhere else for now. Other than that, yeah, you can follow me if you want to follow me on social media. My name, you know my name, all right? So yeah, that's it for today. I will see you next class then.